Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to speak to you all. Um,
Hi.
Hi. Maybe you can kick off with a brief intro. What can, I guess, fans, new and old, who've been following the show for a long time, you're going to have some people coming to it completely fresh. What can they expect from these new episodes that are going to be landing on Paramount Plus?
Yeah, I'd like to start as I was the original voice of Dora when the show first aired back in 2000. And now it's so exciting to have Dora come back because she's so important to the world. And Diana is one of the biggest changes. She is now the voice of Dora, and she's amazing. So it's awesome to kind of like pass the torch, but then also play her mom in the series. Is really, really fun. And then she still has some similarities, like she has her best friend Boots, played by Asher. And I think it's going to be really, really great. You're going to get the nostalgia and also a lot of new things. So it'd be cool.
And for you, Diana, when you got this opportunity to take on the voice of Dora, what was your first thought? And what's so exciting about getting to voice a character like this?
It's very like fun and everything because I know Dora is like a huge deal and she like a lot of people grew up with the character. So it just feels like such a great honor to be able to voice her. And I just really hope people enjoy it.
And what do you think is so striking about her character and what can be so inspiring to other young people and particularly maybe young girls?
I just think that the fact that she's like very kind and also she's good representation for like bilingual people because she speaks English and Spanish. And I know that she's always very nice to her friends and even like the who is supposed to be the bad guy in the show, Swiper, she's always very nice to him.
And for you, Asher, tell us a bit about the character of Boots and the role that he has in the show.
My character is Boots, and aka Dora's friend. He's a monkey, which is pretty cool. He's a talking monkey. My favorite part about doing the voice is like I always get to use my true emotions and my true voice, and I get to yeah. So it's really fun.
And for you, Kathleen, I mean, seeing, the show, the character, the story kind of evolve must be so satisfying for you. And then, of course, being able to return to it from this different perspective. So how's it been this time around?
Yeah, it's actually really emotional for me. I didn't think it would be, but to see how much the show is still as impactful as it was when it first came out in 2000, like globally, you see Dora is an icon and everyone knows who she is. A lot of people relate to her. And for me to still be a part of the show and kind of see this new generation be introduced to her again is amazing. And seeing Diana and Asher, like looking at them, it kind of reminds me of looking at myself when I first started, with the original cast. And it's going to be an amazing adventure, an amazing ride, and I can't wait to see Dora continue and go on. So it's awesome.
What about seeing kind of the new look, obviously using the CGI animation, which is kind of like, making it feel very contemporary, very appealing to, a new young audience, to look very different to you?
Yeah, it does. It's different, but I think once you start to watch it and you hear the music, you hear the voices, you see the adventures, it all starts to come back and then you still feel the nostalgia. So I know, at first Dora may look a little different and people might be hesitant, but once they jump into her world again, they'll just be taken back and they'll see a lot of new things too, but new things that are needed and what I think everyone will enjoy ultimately. So it's going to be really great.
And for each of you, did you have sort of a favorite moment of, voicing the characters? Were there any kind of behind the scenes, memorable moments or things that were challenging at all?
Well, for me, I mean, my favorite moment when I first started voicing Dora is when the animation like started and I could hear my voice back. It just felt really like great to just like hear everything come to life slowly.
And for me, whenever close to the beginning, but whenever I first met my song, my song coach for Dora, it was really cool. It was because he's pretty kind.
Yeah, and for me, I remember hearing Diana's voice for the first time, and I hadn't met her yet. So when I heard her being played back in my ear, they didn't tell me that she was going to be played back, and I heard her, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, is that Dora?" And I just immediately remember I got so teary-eyed and I almost started crying because like her voice is just so pure, and I kind of heard my voice in her too, and just that like genuineness of who Dora is was just so awesome to hear in Diana's voice, and to know that this legacy is just gonna continue and flourish. And it was a beautiful moment for me, and I'll never forget that.
And overall, what do you think is so appealing, to audiences worldwide about the show, and which is obviously enduring now through this new incarnation? And I guess part of it is a kind of representation of a Latina girl, and the bilingual aspect as well. So people, can learn English and Spanish and kind of get that cultural awareness that they might not get from another TV show.
Yeah, I think it's still important, just as it was important back in 2000 when the show first aired. We still need that representation. Even me, at my age, and Diana too, and she can speak to that. But we all want to relate to someone who's like us, who's bilingual, who looks like us, even in animation, and even for people who aren't Latinos. They want to be introduced to that culture. They want to understand, and we want to help them learn, and maybe even learn a new language. And I think that's what makes it so amazing, is that it's not only for me, but it's for the new generation and for the next one.
I agree.
And also the musical aspect. I just think for kids, they just can't help but be totally sort of drawn into a show when it kicks into song, and it makes everything so much easier in terms of any messages or anything educational. It's so much easier to take on board when there's music involved.
The music, I think it really helps bring the whole show together. The music is so well written, and it really fits the stories. And I love that every character gets to sing and gets to be a part of the big musical numbers.
Amazing. Well, I'm out of time, but thank you so much for sharing all that with me. And my son is actually bilingual with Spanish and English, so he'll be definitely watching as well.
That's awesome.
Nice
Thank
speaking.
you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.